One thing that makes me happy about the weekend, other than the fact that I don't have to work, is that is usually when the best dramas are airing. That is usually when networks will hear their best dramas. And so for the past like 5 Saturday and Sundays, the drama I have been watching is School Trip Join the Group I'm Not Close to. It's a Japanese BL drama that has a total of 10 episodes. Only 5 have aired and I've watched all 5. And I have to say, this drama is just so sweet. It's like the epitome of why I watch dramas. Like, it's my reasons. Dramas like this that I kind of, I'm in love with watching dramas because it's just like a drama that makes you feel good, like watching it, right? There's really little substance to it, but you love it anyways, right? And so yeah, School Trip Join the Group I'm Not Close to, that's a longer title, I have to say. Is just one that I love very much. It kind of reads like a shoujo romance novel, right? So it's like clearly for younger fans, younger female fans, right? But honestly, I guess I can consider myself a young female fan because I am just enamored with this and I love it so much. Now, for the sake of this review, I'm going to be calling this drama School Trip because, like I said, long ass title. So, School Trip. This drama basically follows Yoki, who is a second year high school student. He is in a classroom that is separate from his friends, right? And in that classroom also has their like quote unquote F4 most popular guys, right? When the class has to go on a field trip, he's kind of all alone until one of the boys from the F4 group invites him to join them. And it is from this that Ioki gets closer to one of the boys, Watarai, who looks out for Ioki, and from there they kind of go closer, and you kind of see that there's more to it, right? So again, it's a very like basic high school kind of, I don't know how to explain it, just simple story idea, but it's so refreshing and I like it very, very much, right? Obviously, from the synopsis, Watarai and Yoki kind of fall in love, and I mean, from the very first episode or first 2 episodes, you kind of see that Watarai already has feelings for Yoki, like even prior to like Yoki joining the group, right? That's in fact the catalyst I think is reason why Yoki joins the group, because I think that Watarai extended that invitation through his friend, of course, to Yoki, right? Obviously claiming that, oh my god, Yoki has like no one in the class to like be in a group with, so let's invite him, but like really it's because he likes him. And we've all seen this story idea, right? It's that completely unrealistic idea that like the most popular guy in like your class has a crush on you and is secretly in love with you, right? Very like YN novel from Wattpad, if you guys remember those eras, right? And so that's kind of what this drama is about. It's very like shoujo romance, very like young girl vibe kind of drama, right? But still, I really like it. Like, it's a kind of drama that you can kind of turn your mind off and just watch strictly for the fun of it, right? It's just a lot of sugar, it's a lot of just like sweet moments, and watching two people that are kind of constipated in love fall into love with one another. Well, I shouldn't say both constipated, because I think that Hiyoki has more emotional intelligence than Watarai to an extent. That's why when it comes to like navigating this like feelings and everything. And I think that's maybe just partly because Watarai is the one that is currently in love. But like, even though Watarai is the popular one, he's kind of the awkward one in this drama, and it's just kind of sweet to see how he kind of like navigates his feelings for Yoki, right? And I think Yoki immediately senses that like there is something different about the way Watarai treats him than everybody else, right? Although I will say that this drama is very good in a bunch of things. So even though it's like very like simple, there are still some key parts of this that is kind of cool, I think, right? So for example, Yoki, even though he's an introvert, he's actually not like someone that is a loner, right? That's one thing that the drama kind of establishes, right? So even though Ioki is someone that is introvert and in his class he has no friends, and honestly I've been in that scenario where I am in a space and all my friends are in a different space because they all chose a certain subject or a certain like activity, and so I'm the only one that has no friend in that current situation or that current class, and it's kind of awkward, but it doesn't mean you don't have your friends, right? So even though Ioki is an introvert, even though Ioki is all alone in that class, he still has his own group of people, right? So he has his friends that are in a different class, and he has his own hobbies. He is a part of a different club, and just that his friends are not in that current class, and I really like that, right? I also like the fact that they made Yoki kind of perceptive and not just docile, and so he's not like overly shy or coy, right? Like obviously he can tell that there's a difference between him and the F4 group, and that's kind of what informs how he acts. It's not necessarily like that he's just shy or coy by nature. Like he's still kind of someone that engages with his friends and stuff like that, right? And I also like that he does not immediately fall in love with Watarai, right? Like he's able to see that Watarai treats him differently, and that's something that he makes a point to mention once or twice to Watarai because it's odd to him, right? So he just does not fall into love like right from the get-go, because he can tell like, okay, this is odd, right? And it's not like someone that is starving for affection or that kind of thing, and so he falls in love because like Watarai is like popular or anything. Like he's doubtful and like skeptical about why Watarai is treating him so well. Also I think because they are both boys, that's why he also has that doubt, because it makes no sense why he's treating him like that. And so I just like the fact that he does not immediately just like fall on Watarai's lap, right? So Watarai has to kind of work for it to an extent. And like I said, because Watarai treats him differently, right, he feels the need to like ask him why that is, right? So he asks him a few times, right? And sometimes he even flakes about that, right? Because it's kind of embarrassing thinking that, am I overthinking how he treats me, or is he treating me differently, right? So there's sometimes when he flakes or he just mumbles it, but once I think or twice he does like make a mention of like asking him why he treats him differently, right? So it's just very interesting to see how he behaves, right, and reacts in relation to how Watarai treats him. One thing I will say though, like Watarai is clearly somebody that has studied him, right, and has been in love with him for a while, to the point where I think his friend, one of his friends, in fact the friend that invited Yoki to join the group, I think that friend does know that Watarai like likes him. I can't tell, they've not really like made it obvious that he knows, but I like from what I can see, it seems like he knows, and I think maybe he's maybe the only one that knows, or maybe all his friends know. But yeah, I think that Watarai has been in love with him for a really long time, and he's just had the chance now to like get close to him, right? And so yeah, because of that, I think I can't wait for Watarai's POV, because I think that this is something JBLs always do. Like they will insert the POV of the romantic partner just so you have an idea of like what they are thinking, right? They've done this in like all the BLs I watch, right? Even if it's just one episode, you kind of get a sense of how they think, and it's usually my best episode because it shifts the point of view from like our protagonist and narrator and everything to their like love interest, and it's always interesting to see how their love interest sees them as opposed to how they see themselves, because oftentimes the protagonist is always like an unreliable character. They see themselves very differently than how everybody sees them, and so I am very like curious about that. I'm looking forward to that, to kind of see why he likes him so much. Like, why does Wataria like Ioki so much? Even though I get a sense to an extent just seeing Ioki and how Ioki acts, because I do like Ioki's personality as just a person. I think it'll be interesting to see what it is that made Wataria fall in love with Ioki, right? Because I think just in general, JBLs are good at like giving the love interest a reason to fall in love, right? It's always something small sometimes, but it's like concrete enough that like you're like, okay, that makes sense. I can see why you like him so much, right? And it's really just a very cute reason. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing that, right? And just to also see his own thought and point of view, because for now he's kind of cool. Obviously there are a few moments where we see him being jealous and everything, but overall he is like the popular person, he is somebody that is seemingly a little cold and everything, but I think when his POV comes, we will see that he's more of the jealous type, right? And not just because his friends say so, although they do mention that, right? But I think that it will be interesting because I think there'll be moments like that where we see his jealousy, right? I really want to see how he reacted to Yoki and his friend, that girl, right, that he's known when he was younger. So it's moments like that I'm like, I really want to see how he has processed that in his mind, and how just jealous he will appear when he thinks about the fact that Yoki is really close to that girl. So yeah, I really like this drama overall so far. Again, it's a very simple watch. It's a very like cute romance, kind of drama, and I am eating it up. I love it so much. So yeah, that's really all I have in this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.